Stand by for action. Battle station. Anything can happen in the next half hour.
Hey everybody, welcome back. I got another record player. This time, this is a Philips Carnaby from 1966. And yeah, pretty plain looking record player from the 60s, I reckon. The only had all pieces to be there apart from, of course, no cartridge. So that's okay. It's a bit wonky. It's sort of spinning. And our speed selector does work. I can feel the clicking happening on the idler wheel in there. So this thing's solid state, and I've got the schematic and parts list, and that's down below in the link, should you want to have a look at it. But I think we should just plug it in and see if it works. So that looks like the original cable power cord to me. And just get that other thing out. I'll plug that into my current limiter. Now, it's an on-off switch. So let's turn it on, and I'll get around the other side so I don't block the camera. And here we go, just give it a bit of power. I'm assuming that it'll just start spinning. Maybe not. Okay, where am I at? 118 volts. So far so good. 160. That should be spinning. Okay, we're getting nothing out of it. Alright. Oh, pardon me. Tell you what, we'll get that opened up. We'll have a look inside and see if yeah, what the problems are. Right, so here's the unit. Not much to it at all. I'll zoom in for you. So yeah, as you can see, yeah, a couple of filter caps. I thought that was initially a choke, but no, it's an actual power transformer. It's been fed from the on-off switch right there, and goes into one of them goes into a diode, so half-wave rectification. And the other side goes into, looks like that cap there. Alright, let's look at the motor. Oh, the other thing I noticed, you see, the audio wire, the output audio wire, it's an old TV antenna wire. Wow. And I think I've seen them, they're still solid. I think in Bunnings, yeah, I've seen it there, I'm sure. Anyway, shit. Funny. Let's, again, enough mucking around. Let's look at this motor. You can see it there. Yep, cool. So does it spin? Yep. It's pretty free. Could still do with a bit of a lube, but my thought is we'll just check to see if the power's going into it. And get that out of the way. So we've got yeah, power going directly into the motor. Alright, and I'll zoom back so we can see the multimeter. And let's turn that variac on and see what we get. Okay, bit of power. Okay, we've got AC, 56 volts already. And I'm at 57, 58 on my multimeter on the Fluke, monitoring this. So I'll just turn the voltage up. So the motor's got to run to 240 volts for sure. 170, not working. Oh, there it goes. Oh, you've got to be at 200 volts to make it work. And if I turn it down, no, it's still working. Alright, So that at least works. Let's see if the circuit is working. And trying to I'll work out how to do this in a safe way, so that this thing just doesn't fall over. Okay, I thought I'd just lay the thing flat, and I noticed that the red wire should be positive, white should be negative. So if we, pardon my arm if I'm in the way, and the amplifier should work even with a bit of power. So me earthing that wire, yep. So the amp's working. How well, we don't know yet. So I'll hook up a cartridge for it, just temporarily, and oh no, actually, well, yeah, some way, so we can test the whole thing as well and just see what it sounds like. So yeah, I'll get a cartridge in there, and we'll continue on from there. Before we take the cartridge out, I noticed how to get the platter off, and it's just held in by, where is it, here, this little pin there underneath it, slots in there and holds it in place. So that'll need a bit of a clean, of course. And just looking at the idler wheel, and yeah, that needs a clean too. Yeah, it doesn't spin smoothly. So just held in by what I call a little circlip. So we just take that little circlip out, pull it out, give it a clean and a lube, and that should spin freely. So I'll do that first, I think, and clean up the shaft and the sleeve there as well. Looks rather dirty and grimy, and yeah, black grease. So clean that right up. So I thought I'd just show this again. Little cleaning cloths, of course, that I use, and I've squirted acetone onto it, and yeah, just run it inside that that sleeve, what do we call it, and get all that gunk out of it. So yeah, a little bit in there, and I've also given the shaft here for the idler wheel a clean. There's some white gunk around the base, get rid of that too. Also ran the acetone over the shaft of the motor. So there is there, yeah, cool. What's that yellow thing? Oh, okay, yeah, a little screw that holds it in onto the shaft, yeah. Alright, so give that a good clean out too. And a little bit of machine oil, don't need a lot. And they should be ready to go. So I'll get that back in there and we'll give it a test. Okay, I went through my stash of spare parts for record players, and I found 3 idler wheels that are virtually identical, well, same size as the original there. Trouble is, the first 2 I tried, they won't fit on. They just will not go on. And I don't want to ream those out, because these could be good for another model like a HMV or something. But luckily, one of them does fit on. So that's working pretty well. Put it back on. See if this makes a difference. So, got my phones ready on RPM. Let's go to 78. Oh, good. Spinning. What? Oh. What do we got? 68. Not very good, is it? Oh, I saw it hit. Did it? 68, 69. It's going up. Alright, don't really care about 78s. Now, 45s. 30? That's not really good. And on 33, it's playing at 31 revs. actually hit 32. So that's okay. 32 RPM compared to 33 1/3, not a problem. 45 is a bit of a concern. It's got to be, okay, now it's 43, and that's acceptable. More than acceptable for, you know, just a cheapy little record player like this. Maybe it's this speed change mechanism. I'll have to have a look at that, just maybe re-lube it again, I don't know. But at 43 RPM, actually it's hitting 44. So there's something going on here. Don't know what it is. Is it the idler wheel itself, the rubber on it? As it warms up it gets stickier? Or is it the motor? Oh, that could be a thing too. Of course I don't have a spare motor, not for this sort of model anyway. And if I did, sure I'd put one in. Tell you what, that should be okay. That should sound spot on. So put my favourite record on.
Two great cities, Melbourne and Sydney. We're brother living in Melbourne, although
sounds good to me. And 33s would be fine too. So okay, I'm just going to leave it like that for now. Like I said, I'll give the mechanism there a bit of a lube job. Get these other wheels out of the way. I mean, there's not a lot to it. And I have already put some lithium grease on there. Sorry, arms, hands in the way. It's moving smoothly. Sort of. A little bit clunky. But anyway, I'll play with that a bit, see how I go. But given that works okay, I'm sort of tempted to just leave it the way it is. Yeah, this ain't a high-end record player, that's for sure. Well, I've checked out the speed selectors and re-lubed it as much as I could. It still seems okay. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll end this video now, and I'll come back. I'll do a part 2 where we'll look at the circuit board and change a few caps, and pretty much that'll be it for this one. And of course, change that antenna wire there. So yeah, okay. See you in part 2, guys. Bye.